Okay, hello everybody. We're back, and it is my great honor to interview Dana Strong, whom I first interviewed 12 years ago. And in that 12 years on stage, in that 12 years, our friendship has flourished, our projects have grown. You've gone to America, come back, and then built an incredible new set of businesses, launched many, many new products. And I just have to say what a great pleasure it has been. I have to say Sky has been one of our leading partner in a huge number of partnerships to help civic society. And I have never heard the word no from Sky. And I'm so grateful to you for that. And I so treasure the warmth of our friendship and the fact that you have been so incredibly supportive to the aims of our country, all of the aims of our country. So my first question is actually about your sports strategy. It's always been central to Sky's success, and even more so now, it seems, it sits more at the center of your strategy. Could you take us through that?
I would love to. Thank you for having me here today. I think people that know me and my team know that I'm pretty passionate about sport. You know, it's no secret Sky's extraordinary strength in sport and the heritage and that we come from, and the amazing team that we have, led by Jonathan Licht in sport. And so we're in a very privileged position. But about 18 to 24 months ago, we really decided to double down and go long in sport. And I feel fantastic coming onto the other side of it to say we really feel we've built a strategic moat around our sport business. We've been able to create a rights portfolio with the breadth, depth, and longevity that we've never seen before at Sky. And so whether it's the EFL, Premier League rights, cricket, Formula One, tennis, the list goes on, and we've got those rights to near the end of the decade across the board. So we've really done a very considered and full court press on shoring up our position in sport and making sure that gives us the length of time to now innovate for the next generation of sports coverage, which is also really exciting. So when we think about why sport matters, first of all, because it's resilient. You put out a report last week. First of all, one of my favorite lines I've ever read at all was Sky Sports is ascendant. That was wonderful. So thank you very much for that. And what you could see in the Enders report is that sports is more resilient than any form of linear live content. And we've known that, we have felt that, we wanted to get in front of that and in front of all the narrative that's now happening in the United States and really lock in our rights for a very long period of time. The second reason why sports really matters is the monetization of sport. So sports, we have a very, very sophisticated monetization machine for sports rights. So we have our premium TV service, but we also have an OTT service. We have a massive media business. We have a B2B pubs, clubs, and venue business. And we also have our wholesale partnerships. And so we're able to tap into multiple different value streams for sports, multiple different ways of reaching fans and creating even more support for our sports. And the third reason why sports really is at the epicenter of our strategy is because it matters. It matters to communities. It matters to families. It's part of our zeitgeist. I'm sure everyone in this room has a story about watching sports with their family. I mean, the first memory that I have is my dad and I actually share a birthday. I think you know that about me. And it's while Wimbledon is going on. And every birthday we would spend eating breakfast together and watching Wimbledon. And it creates moments for communities, it creates moments for your families. Sky likes to be culturally relevant and likes to be in the middle of the zeitgeist and helping create these moments. I'm really pleased to say it's working. So the strategy is really paying off. You said it yourself in your report, but viewership is up 17% versus last year. We had our biggest Premier League season ever. What's really encouraging is that viewership amongst under 35s is up 26%, and viewership amongst women is up 20%. We've had a very intentional strategy of what we call expansive fandom, and making sure that we're not just communicating to fanatics, but also fans and followers, and really opening the tent and welcoming everyone into the sport conversation. We're not stopping there. Our plans for 2024 are huge. We're pretty excited about it.
That sounds great. Well, of course, the expansion of interest of women viewers and also the incredible range of new sports that are coming on that are interesting everyone is a great opening out of what was actually the sort of super fat fan strategy into the everyone strategy, which we're seeing actually across all broadcast sectors because of the value of live. In terms of technology, I mean, how far has Sky really transitioned from a satellite operator to an IP-based delivery platform?
We are now very, very mature on that journey. So one example would be, and then I'll get to some of the other platform examples, but one example would be in the sports sphere that I was just talking about. We have an increase of 50% more games in 2024 than we had in 2023. So how do you bring those games to consumers in an efficient way that allows them to see what will be up to 100 live games played simultaneously across different sports leagues? It has to be IP. So we're transmitting the entire Sky Sports Plus service at no extra cost to our customers all on an IP format and piped into your set-top box. So we're creating whole new services just on IP platforms in order to make sure that we give a much bigger range of choice and simplicity of finding the content to customers. Because when you think about the 70% increase in Premier League, the 1,000+ games in EFL, all of tennis, like you need a different way of getting those services to our customers. And we've made an enormous amount of progress in getting our full IP platforms out to customers as well. So about 2 years ago, I think I was here, and we had just launched Glass. We followed that up with the Stream box, which is a fully IP set-top box. So we now have more than 80% of our sales are on our IP platform. 8 out of 10 of our new Stream customers are new to Sky. So they're brand new. We're reaching new customers with this. We have the largest selling TV in the UK last year, our 55-inch Sky Glass TV. And we're really delighted with the progress because what it's giving consumers is it's giving consumers ease and choice. And so what I mean by that is with an IP platform, you no longer have to wait for a satellite installation. It's next day delivery, 5-minute install to your Wi-Fi, and all of the choice at really, really good value is sitting on that set-top box. So that's been quite transformational. It's also really good for our partners because it gives, what we're finding is that consumers are watching a more diverse range of content on these IP platforms, and so we're able to merchandise and hero content for our partners in a way that drives more eyeballs to their business. And the third is great for Comcast because it's a global entertainment OS platform, and we have the Xumo business, Comcast business, all of our syndication partners, and Sky, and it was all created here at Sky as its foundation and then imported to these amazing partners in the US. So the global scale, we have over 5 billion streams a week, in a global scale on this platform. So we're very, very lucky to be part of that global system, and really that drives the innovation because we no longer have to do, in the satellite days, you do kind of 2 downloads a year, and they're very death-defying. They're pretty scary. We do a download to our IP boxes every 2 weeks. We did 300 features last year and upgrades. And so it's a completely different experience for consumers and for us. So we're really excited about it.
Well, it was trialed 5 years ago as the future, and you're getting there. So in terms of your other big strand, content that you create and you originate and you make, I mean, obviously we've heard a great deal from the streamers. We've also heard an enormous amount, thank the Lord, about how important PSB remains, how foundational it is. Sky is the aggregator platform par excellence, the champion of PSB, if I may say, through Sky Q. And also, of course, a very significant producer, although we hear a lot less about that strategy than we do about everybody else's strategy. So take us through where you think you are and where you're really going. Obviously, as an aggregator, you have so many choices, so it must be very difficult to choose the projects you really want to focus on. But I'd love to hear more about your ambitions in that space.
Yep. So there's a lot to say about content. And there is a lot of choice out there right now, and getting the right value to our customers is always. We always start with audience, and value to customers is at the epicenter. So we think about content from three different sources. One is the content we commission. The second is the content we acquire, and the third is our bundled partnerships with SVODs. And we mobilize those three very, very differently and use them for different things. So in the content that we commission, we're really, really passionate about the UK cultural sector. I think you know that about us. We've been, it's a real passion of mine. We're delighted that you would say that we're supportive of the PSBs. We think, a rising tide floats all boats. We're very passionate about the UK cultural sector, and we think about our commissioning strategy in three different forms. We think about content that's going to drive customers to adopt Sky. So those are like your big tentpole content. One that we're pretty excited about this autumn, so I'll use it as an opportunity to try and get people to watch it, is The Day of the Jackal, which is a wonderful piece of IP. We've got Eddie Redmayne casted in that. It'll be a global launch with our partners at NBC. And that's an example of big budgets, big producer, Carnival, global, so adopt. The second thing that we think about is what is content that is going to help people keep coming back, the perennials. So these are some of our big series investments, like Gangs of London would be a really good example of that, where we get huge viewership, repeatable. We've just commissioned something with Neil Cross called Iris, with Tom Hollander as the lead. And those are the types of the repeatable, the coming back. And the third thing that we look for in our commissioning strategy is content that takes people by surprise. And that, I wasn't expecting that. And Mary and George with Julianne Moore would be a good example of that. Tattooist of Auschwitz, which is very big right now, and Sky would be an example of that. So Tattooist would just be a single season. Harvey Keitel and many others, extraordinary cast. And what we're finding with this strategy is an example, if we just take Tattooist, we had a higher viewership in the first episode of Tattooist than the first episode of season 4 for Succession. So we know we're on to something, and we're kind of in leagues, I guess you would say, with what our viewership has been in True Detective. So we're really starting to, I think, build a wonderful set of library and a go-forward plan for our commissioning. So that's one block. The SVOD block, we think about how can we use our scale and our innovation to bring better value to customers and better merchandising to our partners, so that people are able to find content more simply than they can just by going to the app, the individual app kind of navigation. We feel really good about where we're at on our SVOD strategy. And then we use acquisition strategy as well to really drive a retention strategy for the Sky customer base. And we buy from all of the various studios, some really, really important relationships. And I imagine you're probably going to ask us about the Warner relationship. That sits within that. And so, yes, we've been a partner of Warner for a very long time. I think we work really well together. As you know, we're, of course, in conversations with Warner, and it's just fair to say that regardless, in every scenario, Sky customers will have Warner content on Sky platforms. It's really just a discussion about how we integrate that and how we work together going forward. And we've got lots of choice. So there's a lot of other content providers that previously had strategies around their own D2C services, and all of that's starting to open up to have a wonderful world of choice for Sky customers and great value. So we're feeling actually really solid about where we're at with content.
Well, I'm delighted because since we're coming to the close of our moment, I can actually congratulate you on the 7th year in which Sky News won News Channel of the Year for the RTS. And as a constant bore about plurality and about having spent 40 years of my life championing public service broadcasting and also the impartiality and plurality of our country, I'm very, very proud that an edition that came into life just so many years ago, but is just killing it year in, year out against very, very stiff competition. I mean, gosh, the BBC must be feeling a little bit tense.
Thank you. We are very, very proud of Sky News. Tim, no offense, we're ambitious about Sky News. We are proud of it. We're proud that we give it away to subscribers for free. I think the team is doing a fantastic job. And please watch our election coverage.
Thank you. It is now my pleasure to hand over to Neil Robinson, Head of Salesforce Europe, for the next panel.